this is the final video of the week, and it's a double bill. This one's going out to Solitary Rodin because I mentioned I'd seen this film, so I was looking forward to seeing my video on it, which is Vanishing Point. But I'm also going to do Gone in 60 Seconds, the original. Not the rubbish remake, the original. Because I've been meaning to do that one for a while too, so I thought when I watched Vanishing Point, oh, that's a good double bill to do now. So Vanishing Point is Richard Sarafin directed it. A couple of writing credits as well. It moved through different people who writing project. But the writing doesn't really matter so much. It's just a general setup of character goes A to B to C. It's how it's shot and how it evolved through the directing process. I mean, the idea was it came from a Cuban writer who wrote the general outline. There's almost an outside view of America, but seen through an alien person in America. So it's this driver Kowalski who is driving to San Francisco to deliver a car. That's his job, but it becomes an existential ride through American backlands and deserts and back roads and small towns and things. And he's going very fast, and he's on various drugs to keep him awake, and he's only really stopping when he has to get fuel and to get whatever he needs. But it's almost like he's in a suicide trip, because he's not going to stop for the police. He's going to cause them to crash trying to catch him, and he's going from state to state, outrunning the police to get to the next state, to outrun the police again, and the police are after him in every state because they all know he's moving. They all know who he is, and it doesn't seem to matter to him. He's going to get to where he wants to go, it seems. But as you go through this, you also get the sense of someone who's very damaged. You find out with stuff in his past, like he had a girlfriend who drowned. Like he used to be in the police, and he lost his job because of the corruption of the police, and he wouldn't put up with it. He was a Vietnam vet. Now he's become like a driver who's lost his license, and he's thinks of a drinking problem. He's someone who's slowly self-destruction. He started out as being someone who was the best, like someone who was a good example of society. He'd gone to Vietnam and he had an honourable discharge. He was viewed as someone up and up, and then slowly his life fell apart. But you hear that some background stuff, and you see it when in flashbacks as well from his point of view. But he barely says anything. It's one of those terrific silent performances you get in these kind of movies in the 70s where we have a two-lane black top or this. It's the idea of this driver who is silent, who won't say anything. He won't say anything unless he has to say something. It's like what he says isn't important, it's what he does is important. So the actor has to be stoic, and the director fills the rest in with the camera moves, the way the camera moves through the landscape, the few lines are said in a very stoic manner, and it becomes this like existential trip through America, where the person's important, but the person's almost like a ghost through America. It's almost like they're chasing the ghosts of someone who's floating through the landscape, and you're seeing them react to him rather than him react to them. So, and the few times you get to see him react, it's just out of practicality. He doesn't really want to be there. He doesn't want to be among people. He just wants to be left alone to drive fast. And why he's driving is something you never quite figure out. But it's wonderful. I mean, the whole language of the film is in the landscape and in the interaction of the landscape, which is amazing because the director didn't do much of anything beyond this film. He did Solar Crisis with Charlton Heston in the late 80s, which is a notorious bomb, and there's nothing else in CV that makes you look go, oh, that's impressive. It's just that this one film. It's like, how the hell did this happen? Did he the right collaborator? It just seemed like a miracle he'd got the right film. For the rest of his career, there's nothing. See, when Monty Hellman with Two-Lane Backdrop, he's like an eccentric director. This is him making that film after the shooting seems logical. But this director just doesn't seem to be part of this landscape at all. So he just seemed like he found himself in one genre that was perfect for him, and he had good collaborators, good camera people who could shoot stuff for him, and editors who could shape things, and it is a kind of minor miracle that this thing actually was made him so good. I'll probably then get a message on my on the flies to this saying, you forgot this film, or you forgot that film, that was a great film, that was a great film, you missed these. But I looked through his IMDb stuff and there was nothing there that I really recognised. But the film itself is wonderful. I mean, it's the existential situation of him versus authority, and authority is the police, but these policemen are just these nobodies who are trying to stop him but don't really have a clue of what they're up to. They just don't really have anything going for them. They're just working stiffs trying to figure out why they should stop this guy. It's not like they've got a reason, it's a job to stop him. And the most you get from them is almost like, is this professional predator trying to stop him. If they're the guy to stop him, they look cool. That's it. But it's almost like they're part of a story they don't understand. They just don't get what this story's about. So they're just doing a job. They're just like viewers almost of the story, even though they're participants. They can't quite understand the drama of the driver, and they're never going to get it. The only person who kind of gets it is Cleveland Little as this guy who's a DJ. He's blind, but he seems to, and he's got people who feed him information. He seems to get what this guy's about, this obsessive nature of this guy. And there's other people, hippies watching, who also seem to see his hatred of authority and going as fast as he can, as hard as he can, is almost like a fuck you to authority. It's like, I'm going to do what I want, I don't care. Your authority is meaningless. And they get it as well. It's just like this sort of yell against society and a yell against this sort of meandering code that the normal society has, which is kind of dull and uninteresting to certain people who are outside of it, who can't ever really enter that, or part of it but can't, you know, be part of it anymore. They just have to escape it. And the vanishing point is like, there's no real vanishing point. It's just like he's trying to vanish from society and life. There's no point to get to. It's just like he has to get somewhere, and the somewhere he's getting to is his death, because the film starts with him seeing a roadblock, and then you flash back to how he got there, and then at the end you realise the roadblock is his death. And it's just boom into the barrier, and the car blows up, and that's the end. It's a wonderful ending, but it's pretty dark. But yeah, I mean, it's like a guy contemplating his existence, and it's like, yeah, he's always been you always feel he's doomed from the start. Just seeing this from the start, it's almost like all these car chases have this tragedy element to them. It's always undercurrent, you know. It's not that the suspense of will they get away. That's been taken care of by doing the flashback. It's like just watching what he does and how he does it and why he's doing it, and try to interpret that. Then you see him escaping the police and having chases with all these different drivers, and you watch the interaction, and they're all in it for the joy of the chase. You know, they're in it for the speed. What they get from that is something to make them alive, feel alive. So even though if they're competitors in something, like he competes against a guy who's in a much more souped up car, and he beats the guy and the guy crashes, but you still see the guy's okay, the guy nods and okay. They understand that that's the existence of, yeah, we're losing, but we're still kind of on the same side. If one of us lose, doesn't really matter, we're still on that same side compared to everyone else. So it's a beautiful film. It's a really beautiful film, the way it's shot, just the way the car moves through the landscapes, and it's obviously, even though the scripted landscapes, they had to improvise the shots in the car and stuff to try and, they had a plan what they wanted, but they'd have to work with the landscapes as well and have very skillful helicopter pilots and other cars going near that car and all the rest of it. I mean, this was a studio film from Fox. It wasn't an independent film. It was made just after Easy Rider, so maybe that's why it was experimental. Like, Easy Rider gave them the excuse to do this existential road movie that no one wanted to see ultimately. Or it did okay, but it didn't do brilliant. But it did better in the UK and Europe than it did in America. America didn't get it until later. But it became this film that was a studio film. The studios made this film and it was just very weird, and I don't think they understood what they'd made, but they still released it anyway, even though they didn't give it a mass release, they did release it. And it just became this sort of cool film that was just a bit weird. I mean, I still kind of like Two Lane Blacktop better, because I like Warren Oates, you know. I'm also a big fan of The Driver, the Walter Hill movie, which is different, it's more of a genre movie, but it still has that kind of existential edge to it. But this is still wonderful, man. It's still a wonderful film. It's one of those films that I want you to see though, because it's sort of like watching 2001, and it's so visual that you can only explain so much about it by talking. You have to kind of see, experience it, like see it on decent TV, put speakers on to get the sound, because the soundtrack is important. Where you've got some music or you don't have any music or it's just the car sounds, they create a momentum throughout the film, so it's not just a car driving, it's a car in a landscape moving forward, and the sound changes whether you feel the camera as it goes, as well as the way the car's shot and the lenses are used. And the soundtrack is a big important part of the film, so definitely try and see it, but also try and see a sound system and try and get the best you can from it, because it is a wonderful film. But it's not a verbal film at all. It's a bit of the visuals, and it's about the feelings you get from it rather than trying to intellectualise it in some way. So that's Vanishing Point. Vanishing Point is amazing. Just go see it. Gone in 60 Seconds, the original, is also amazing in a very different way. Like Vanishing Point has pretensions towards something else. Whether it succeeds or not, it depends on how you feel. Like, I thought it succeeded, but I can see a lot of people seeing it and going, what the hell is this? Gone in 60 Seconds is no pretensions. It's a rough exploitation car chase movie. And the first half is very rough. The first half's going to be hard to get through, because it's non-actors in this plot, but these guys stealing cars. They have to be insured, the cars have to be insured, so the drivers can get the money back from them. So they steal insured cars and they sell the cars on, and they replace certain parts so you can't track these cars with the new owners. So it's a business they've got, as well as they've got a normal garage. So the first half of the movie you see them doing this car stealing stuff, and it's very undramatic until they get a car full of heroin. And the lead character burns the heroin because he doesn't want anything to do with that, because he can see him in trouble. His partner hates what he did there, and out of revenge shops him and sets him up to be caught just out of pure revenge. Now this could be dramatic because all the actors are known actors and none of them can act. There's no drama there. Them getting the different cars should be dramatic. It's not. It's almost like you're watching how people steal cars properly, because it's just almost like instruction manual how you steal a car. But it's still kind of weirdly compulsive watching this weird mess of non-actors trying to deliver dialogue, and you're watching how you steal a car in the 70s. I was really interested, even though in some scenes I was really bored. Then the second half happens when the police go after the lead character. He has to escape with his Eleanor car, which is this souped up car that he needs to get to fulfill his order. And this one bit was taken in the remake, the Eleanor car, but it's done much better here. And the last half of the movie is him escaping the police through this one massive car chase that lasts about 45 minutes, and it's wonderful. It's just wonderful, because you just think they must end this soon, and it's not. They're going to keep going and keep going and keep going, and it's great. It's like, this is a pure exploitation film, and it knows it, and it just goes for it. It's like it gives you different pleasures you would get from something like Vanishing Point, but it's pleasures though, and it's wonderful to watch this. It's kind of film that looks at French Connection and say, I can do much better than that. And it does. I mean, it's like French Connection is only about 10 minutes. This one's like 45 minutes. Technically, it's much more impressive. I mean, French Connection is a plot though that makes it more impactful. This one doesn't have a plot. It's just like I'm getting chased. But it's wonderful though. It's just wonderful, and it's really worth seeing. You see, one of the reasons why I couldn't talk about this film before something like Vanishing Point to do a contrast with, you can really talk about it on its own because there's not much to say beyond this car chase is amazing, and the first half really awkward. Because that's all it is. It's like it's a exploitation movie, but it's a wonderful exploitation movie. But again, the enjoyment is in the scene of the film and seeing what the film is and what it's about and what it's, you know, the way it's done. Because it's a film made by car freaks who don't care about anything else. They're not really film freaks, they're car freaks. And the joy of this film is the car freaks showing the joy of the craftsmanship of what they can do with the cars. That's it. That's all it is. But it's worth seeing though. You can get this film from America. It's an American release. If you've got a multi-region player, you can get this film. It's very easy to get. You can get it from HD World quite easily for like a $5 or something. It's really worth getting because it is wonderful. But you have to see it with critical values pretty low. It's as an exploitation film, but it's a wonderful exploitation film. And it's just a joy to watch once the actual car chase starts because it's just great. It's exactly what you'd want to see when you were a teenager or a kid. A car chase, just like non-stop for 45 minutes, just non-stop. So I hope you enjoyed this video, enjoyed this week of videos. They're fun to make. Because we're into Halloween season, I'm not really going that serious at the moment, but just the way it is, it's Halloween season. You just start watching cheesy horror movies. There's only so much you can do with that. So I'll see you next week for some more films. Right, bye.